This video serves entertainment purposes only. Bulgaria is a great country, and this video is not intended to defame it in any way. Long live Bulgaria. Please don't kill me. Thanks.
This is a video about Bulgaria Air, the flag carrier of, well, you guessed it, Bulgaria. If you recreationally inform yourself online on Eastern European airlines like me, you might have noticed that Bulgaria Air does not exactly enjoy a prime reputation.
Bulgaria Airline, you are a joke of an airline.
According to former passengers and full-time YouTube comment writers, Bulgaria Air is one of the worst, most unsafe and shadiest airlines currently operating in European airspace.
Don't expect passion for the line of business, customer care or anything. It's nothing but a money laundering operation for them. They gave the worst seats in the plane we sat next to the engines and our ears started hurting at the moment we stepped on the plane. Terrible service, hidden costs, long lines for check-in.
I am so sick and tired of airlines like Bulgaria Air. First of all, it's not safe, they don't give a shit about safety, and they're ripping you off, and they don't give you anything in return.
As part of my series, How Bad Is This Airline Really?, I took a closer look at Bulgaria Air. Travel vicariously on a flight from Varna to Sofia with me and let us get an impression of what we as everyday travelers feel of the commonly raised issues on Bulgaria Air.
What's going on? I'm in Bulgaria, better said in Varna, a coastal town at the beautiful Black Sea. And today I'm going to try out a carrier I've never flown on before, which is Bulgaria Air. I've recently saw a video from the one and only Josh Cahill, or Cahill. He tried out Bulgaria Air and his experience was not particularly great. So yeah, I'm wondering if it will be really that bad. Flight time approximately 50 minutes, 45 minutes, but I think it's enough to see if the things are really that bad. Especially regarding safety procedures and the friendliness of the crew. So we will check out of this beautiful hotel soon, and yeah, I will see you at the airport.
Once we check out of our hotel on the shores of the Black Sea, we'll trade the sandy shores for the bustling Varna International Airport, just a 20-minute journey from the heart of the historic city. Welcome from Varna Airport, or better said, from the car park in front of the airport. It's brutally hot, sun is burning down, but we will head to the terminal now. We checked in already to check out how good or bad or unsafe Bulgaria Air really is. I just wanted to point out that this review has nothing to do with the country of Bulgaria itself. I have been here for 1 week and I think Bulgaria is a great country. Unfortunately, many people have not the best image in their head when they think about Bulgaria. I mean, even my family and friends, when I told them that we were heading to Bulgaria, they were like, really, Bulgaria? You know, they probably imagined something straight out of a Borat movie. But it's actually quite nice here. People are friendly, food is nice. It's a nice country, it's my first time here. But yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about this airline. They're supposed to be quite unsafe, rude stuff, unfriendly stuff, safety protocols that are not followed. So I want to take this 45 minutes or 50 minutes to Sofia to check whether that's really the case. Varna Airport is the third busiest airport in a southeastern European country and is operated by German company Frankfurt Airport Services, Fraport. VAR is a bustling crossroad for nearly 30 airlines. While many zoom off on seasonal jaunts to Europe and the Middle East, my eyes are set on one, Bulgaria Air. I'm all set to embark on this adventure with an eagle eye out for any obvious safety breaches, especially during the landing. Arriving at the gate, I do normal airport stuff. I have a short chat with a nice gentleman, and it's only later I realize he must be someone of note. Onlookers can't resist snapping photos with him. Anyone recognize him? Drop a comment below.
So our plane just arrived. Boarding was actually supposed to be 10 minutes ago, so there might be a slight delay. But let's see.
Shortly after passengers disembark, boarding commenced. Taking the bus for a few meters feels very un-European, but I guess there is some sort of safety regulation behind that. Strangely, passengers whose planes are further away have to cross the tarmac on foot. So maybe Bulgaria Air just puts those steep airfares to work by providing a bus. For this flight together we pay close to €200, meanwhile Ryanair is offering the same route for like 10% of that. That's why I'm really surprised that so many people are boarding. I have heard that even many Bulgarians avoid their own flag carrier like the plague. But if Bulgaria Air is supposedly so bad in addition to being much more expensive, then why on earth would anyone choose this airline? Admittedly, my expectations are low, but boarding proceeds smoothly and the smiling flight attendant greets us passengers at the rear door of this A320. In addition, there is a crew member in the cabin who supervises the boarding and helps guests stowing their hand luggage. The 7-year-old aircraft, which originally belonged to the Mexican airline Interjet and then to a Chinese leasing company, also makes a good impression. A detailed tour of the impressive seat will be provided as soon as we are in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you on board of Airbus 320 of Bulgaria Air and kindly to our flight AB 978 from Sofia to Varna. From Varna to Sofia. Our estimating flight time will be around 40 minutes. On behalf of Captain Krasimir Minkov and Captain Bilana Krasteva and their crew, I wish you a pleasant flight. Thank you.
Unlike in Cahill's video, there is more than one crew member performing the safety demonstration. People at the emergency exits are informed and then the cabin is checked before takeoff.
Literally, no crew member from the back ever showed up. Also, like the safety demonstration was only done by the one crew member in the front. And what is even more worrying is they never briefed the passengers sitting at the emergency row, right?
In general, I haven't noticed any of the deficiencies Josh Cahill noted on his Bulgaria Air flight so far.
This is an absolute joke. You don't care about safety. You don't give a shit about anything. This bullshit must stop.
Please don't get me wrong here, this video is not meant to be a front against Cahill. He is literally the inspiration that got me started with YouTube. However, this flight shows that it's not always easy to judge an airline based on a single flight. The deficiencies he pointed out are an absolute no-go, and we will see if some of these safety breaches will occur when we land. However, we are already accelerating on the taxiway, which I have never experienced before. If there are any cabin crew members or pilots amongst my audience, is that something that's normal? As we soar into the skies, veering southwest, let's dive into the seating situation before we hit cruising altitude. Boasting a legroom of 74 centimeters, or for my American friends, about 6.8 Big Macs in diameter, it's a tad on the tight side. It's manageable for a quick 45-minute jaunt, but there's the kicker. Bulgaria Air's largest bird is the A320, and they fly this snug setup even on their lengthier route. Not exactly what I call a dream ride. Apart from the neatly packaged board magazine, there is no in-flight entertainment system. What stands out positively for me, however, is the adjustable headrest, something that's rarely seen in European narrow bodies. The recline situation is adequate, the tray table works, but obviously hasn't seen cleaning in a while. As soon as the seatbelt signs go off, the crew gets up and starts the catering service. On this flight, everything has to be done quickly. The time we spend at cruising altitude is just about as long as it takes the average man to make love. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. I mean, that's kinda long. Expecting a 3-course meal on a flight of this duration would not really be realistic. The only time I was served a full menu on a 40-minute flight was on board Bangkok Airways. But there is no comparison, airlines in Asia are simply in a different league. Nevertheless, I'm delighted to receive a complimentary beverage from a large selection. It is served with a piece of what is probably the worst chocolate I have ever tasted. As a Swiss, I'm used to better, and I think of this chocolate the same way people think of my plan to make it on YouTube. Not much. The crew bustles with energy and friendliness, a delightful surprise I hadn't anticipated. Moreover, there's an announcement detailing speed, altitude, outside temperature, and much more. It sends my aviation enthusiast heart racing. Overall, I wonder how it's possible to have such different experiences on the same airline. But I think the crew is a big part of it, and it seems we've struck gold with this one. Once they've dished out the catering, they're already sweeping through the aisles, collecting trash, signaling the descent into Sofia. The cabin is also thoroughly prepared for landing. The approach gets a bit rough with turbulence, but I enjoy the jostling. It's a reminder that we're soaring in an aircraft after all.
да останете седнали по места. Моля да проверите дали сте взели целият си ръчен багаж и лични принадлежности при напускане на самолета. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed at the airport in Sofia. Please keep your seatbelt fastened until the complete stop of the aircraft and engines and until the
The landing was far from the smoothest I've ever experienced. We hit the runway with a jolt and immediately swerved sharply to the left upon touchdown. Still, we made it safely to a remote gate.
crew parking position.
The crew bid us a warm farewell as we disembarked, heading to the bus terminal. Being a domestic flight, there is no need to navigate through customs or immigration. Traveling light without checked luggage, within 5 minutes of reaching the terminal, we find ourselves at the subway station. The ticket machine prompts us for a mere 1 Bulgarian leva 60 per person. Now come along as I take you to our Airbnb, where I'll share my final thoughts on my experience with Bulgaria Air.
Welcome from our beautiful Airbnb here. About today's flight, I was actually positively surprised. I did not really expect much, but concerning the safety breaches and all that, on this flight at least, I did not see anything of that. And also the crew was active and lovely actually. They were always smiling and very friendly. So this just shows actually that it's quite hard to judge an airline by just one flight, but I think maybe they have watched Josh Cahill's video and took some steps to improve, because otherwise I can't really explain how you can have such a different experience on the same airline. So in total I will give the airline, I would say 7.5 out of 10 stars. What do you think? 8 from 10. Okay, I would say 7.5, but because it was quite expensive and a little bit late, and the tray table was dirty. Otherwise, yeah. We got complimentary drinks and also chocolate, which by the way is the signature move of another airline, which is Swiss International Airlines, which I also reviewed. Click just here to watch the video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and see you next week.